Tonight's State of Origin telecast brought to you by Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst. And Amy, lucky you're with Amy.
Series win. Here's Kenny. Kenny's has gone into first receiver, but Langer's with the football. Goes for it. I think he's got it. Langer has broken the deadlock. 5 points to 4. Big Mark Guy towering over him. Manson's not impressed. Lewis again says something to Guy. They push and shout. Oh boy. Inside pass, burning out to come straight. He's going to run try! Oh, look at this! He's the big fella! Gets the pass on! Coyne goes for the corner! Queensland! It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! Look at him go! He puts the icing on the Queensland! First time since 1991. Paul Gordon has pulled off a coaching miracle. He's 20 metres out. Get to the white note for this kid. O'Connor has won the second State of Origin. Langer, danger. Langer's over. Is he? Yes. Langer gets a try. Capping a magnificent game.
Game 1. The Harvey Norman State of Origin series on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Stadium Australia, the centrepiece of sporting Sydney, looking absolutely splendid on a bracing autumn evening here in the Harbour City. Hello and welcome to the opening night of the 2002 Harvey Norman State of Origin series. For weeks now, New South Wales coach Gus Gould has been beating the drum to call Blues fans out in force to support their team, and they've certainly responded tonight. And of course you got Bluey the dog, the mascot, he's here. Some Maroon supporters, but of course it's all Blues here tonight, and anybody who thinks that the Blues don't have the same passion as the Queenslanders would be sadly misguided. There you go. And of course, Matty Rogers, who has played State of Origin, is here also among the fans. And fans familiar with Stadium Australia will notice that this fabulous arena is undergoing changes to make it more football friendly. Seating on the eastern and western sides has been brought closer to the touchline to put spectators right on the action. This reconfiguration is a work in progress and will later include additional roofing to provide greater comfort for fans at the northern and southern ends of the ground. It means that Stadium Australia will retain its status as Sydney's premier venue and the ground of choice for such big ticket events as State of Origins, Grand Finals and Rugby Union World Cup Finals. Tonight, one of the most anticipated battles in Origin history, with the two outstanding coaches in the game going head-to-head at this level for the first time. And another first tonight in what could be the world's biggest studio audience joining us for our big game preview here at Stadium Australia. To bring it to you down there on centre field, it's a very good evening to Peter Sterling.
Thank you very much, Ken. Welcome to everybody here at Stadium Australia. And for those people who don't have tickets to be at this wonderful venue this evening, we are about to give you the best seat in the house. What about this? We're on the halfway line. In just on half an hour, the Maroons and the Blues will be going hell for leather at each other, trying to get that first step towards supremacy in this Origin series. Now, joining me on the panel tonight, 4 men who bring 88 games of Origin experience along with them, and they comprise Wayne Pearce, Paul Harrigan, Paul Vorton and Wally Lewis. Good evening, gentlemen.
How's it going, Pete?
Mate, looking forward to this. Actually a beautiful night here. Thought it might have been a bit nippy, but it's a good night. And Junior, to you first, you're a rare person in the fact that you've seen Origin from both a player's perspective and a coach's perspective. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling good that I'm not playing out there tonight because it's going to be a very physical game. But as far as playing versus coaching goes, it's a completely different approach. As a player, you judge basically on your 80 minutes on the field. But as a coach, most of your efforts go into the preparation leading up to the game. And once the players get out there, there's not too much you can do. And this week, Both coaches have had to juggle a lot of balls in the air. They've had to deal with injuries and withdrawals. Daniel Wagon out of the Queensland side, a late withdrawal in the New South Wales side, and Gidley comes in there. So it's a difficult job coaching rugby league, and both coaches have gone head-to-head all week. In fact, probably for a few weeks now, they've been building up to this game.
Well, Wally, Sean Timmins luckily out today, Matthew Gidley coming in. Unofficially, Queensland probably go into this game a shade of favouritism. Now, Wayne Bennett, even early in the preparation, said, look, this is the best we've ever come in. Is that the way you see it?
Well, Peter, I think he's going to be very happy with what he's got in his team. I guess having so many Brisbane Bronco players under his guide is something that Wayne Bennett would be extremely happy with. Over the years, of course, we've become used to seeing so many of the Brisbane Bronco players play side by side, and it's given his team a big bonus. And I suppose with Alan Langer back on board again, it's given the little number 7 a huge bonus to be able to be involved with those blokes once again. Favouritism, I think, is only something that's there to give the bookies something to work with. I don't know whether it's worth the price of admission, that sort of thing, to be involved with the argument.
Well, Fatty, you've been a pain all week, as you generally are, but the experience factor this year, last year it was the Maroons in trouble with 10, this year New South Wales 7. The 3 of those have played Test football. How do you see that?
Yeah, they have, but not only experience-wise for us, players like Alan Langer with 31 games, Darren Smith 19 games, plenty of experience in our team, Shane Webke with 11 or 12. The pack weight, our pack run-on pack tonight weighs 646 kilos. That is plenty, and you blokes down this end of the panel looking very, very nervous.
What about the forward clash, Chief?
It's going to be an absolute beauty, the forward clash, and look, I can't forget that first game last year. The first set of 6 that Queensland done really took us by surprise. They made 60 or 70 metres in that first hit up. That won't happen tonight. New South Wales will be ready. I think another factor to look at is that the 10-metre rule. I saw in the City Country game a couple of weeks ago, the teams are very close together. In State of Origin, really hard to go forward in State of Origin. And the fact that they're going to be close together more than ever is going to make it a tough battle.
Well, a short time ago, both teams arrived here at Stadium Australia. One of the most nervous times, obviously, for both squads, the New South Wales players. It's got to knock you around when you have a withdrawal on the morning of the game, but obviously their coach, Phil Gould, knows what this trip is all about and how to have his players best handle this.
I think you can take some solace in the fact that Matthew Gidley, even though we were badly beaten that first game last year, he played a solid game. Now, he's a very experienced player. He's with Tamana Tahu on that wing, and he'll come in, he'll slot straight in, he'll play a good game.
Well, there's the New South Wales players filing in underneath Brett Hodgson, Luke Ricketson and Trent Barrett, Tamana Tahu, I'm sorry. The Queensland players now coming in, and Fatty, well, it might be one of the most nervous times this weight, but it's also one of the most exciting.
It's very exciting, and I do know that Mal Meninga, of course, probably one of the greats of Queensland Origin football, along with the bloke next to me, Wally. He spoke to the players, gave them an inspirational speech before they got on the bus. Just in the dressing room a minute ago. They look very cool, calm and collected. They're very happy to be here and can't wait to get on the paddock.
Well, the countdown is on as we see the Queenslanders and their coach Wayne Bennett arriving at the ground, looking very composed. Big Shane Webke, probably the premier prop in the world at the moment. We'll take a break. We'll be back with all the action very shortly here at Stadium Australia.
He couldn't believe he got straight through to me. He thought he'd get a computer.
If you'd rather speak to a real person, call Amy on 13 22 44.
As Telstra Countrywide's local manager, I'm a part of a team of people that live in Maitland, Cessnock, Singleton, Muswellbrook, and in fact the entire Hunter Valley and Lakes District. Continually improving services is the result of working with and listening to the communities we're a part of, making sure we provide just what you want. I'm also proud that Telstra Countrywide supports the Young Farmer of the Year award in this district. Working together, it's amazing what we can achieve.
Well, if you ever play the motor winds, try to take my way, but that's a highway at the best. Or get your kicks on Route 66. Well, get your kicks on Route 66.
Searching for something for the home? Simply head into Bunnings Warehouse for the lowest prices every day. Like 12-roll clothes era, $9.89. 3-tier pine shelf, $27. GMC 14.4-volt cordless drill, $68.49. Laserlight 2000 premium roofing, $15.95 per metre. Search a lantern with 2 batteries, $9.54. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
More than 100,000 young people or children will be reported to state welfare authorities because of abuse or neglect. As a result, some 20,000 kids will spend some time living away from their families. 2 years ago, 2,378 kids were harmed within 12 months of previously being abused. If you think this is acceptable, do nothing. But we care, and we're going to make a difference. Because every child deserves to smile.
We tend to come up with better local solutions because, well, we are locals.
Looks good, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Brown.
It makes a difference being from around here. Country Energy. It's your country.
The first ever less for cash, less for credit card sale is on at Retrovision. The Dishlex Global 300 built-in electronic dishwasher is only $829, or less just by using cash or credit card. The Simpson Silencio built-in dishwasher is now just $669, or even less for cash or credit card. And the Westinghouse Freestyle built-in electronic dishwasher is only $779, less for cash or credit card. Get in store to find out more.
Retrovision! We've got it!
Welcome back to Stadium Australia. It truly is one of the great sights on the Rugby League calendar, the opening night of Origin. Actually, it's been quite a lucky ground for the New South Wales side. 4 times they've played here, 4 times they've been victorious. I'll be hoping that that continues tonight. Now, speaking of the Blues, here are the 17 players who will be hoping to do their state proud tonight. At fullback, the Parramatta custodian, Brett Hodgson, in sparkling form over the last 6 weeks and one of the best support players in the competition. Playing on the right wing, one of the Newcastle contingent, Tamana Tahu, Melbourne-born, but he also makes his debut tonight for the Blues. Tremendous athlete who scored a crucial try in last year's grand final on this very ground. In the number 3 jersey, in fact, we'll go to Jason Moody, also from the Parramatta club. Quite a late inclusion into the Origin ranks at the age of 27, an excellent finisher and very, very safe under the high ball. The centre pairing, Jamie Lyon in the number 3 jersey, in fact the youngest performer on show tonight, but he's sure to be unfazed by the occasion. No Origin games yet, but he has played Test football. Now, coming into the side late today in the 19 is the Newcastle centre Matt Gidley for the unlucky Sean Timmins. He'll relish the opportunity to impress tonight, and he enjoys a great combination with his Newcastle teammates, and most especially Tamana Tahu. At 5'8" tonight, probably one of the forgotten players in the lineup is Trent Barrett, but he's still one of the most skillful players in the competition. Great set of hands, and I think he'll probably take a little bit of the pressure off Andrew Johns' kicking game. And speaking of the number 7, Andrew Johns, arguably the world's premier player, he'll skip to the side tonight in the halfback role. No weakness in his game, and he always leads by example. Locking the scrum tonight is the ever-reliable Luke Ricketson, been recalled to fill his workaholic role. Played 1 game last year for New South Wales, and that was for 1 win, so he's something of a lucky charm as well for the Blues lineup. In the second row, very mobile second row, Big Steve Simpson, Ben Kennedy's teammate up in Newcastle. He's gone to the next level this season. Big, fast, plays on the right-hand side and very capable of getting away a key offload. Alongside Ben Kennedy, he's been hindered by a rib injury this season, but he has declared himself 100% ready to fire tonight. He's a prolific try scorer, one of the best athletes in the competition. Now up front, in the engine room, Luke Bailey, a late inclusion into this team as well, in for the injured Robbie Kearns. Undoubtedly tough enough for this level, St George Illawarra prop, and he'll revel in the tough going in the opening 20 minutes of this first State of Origin. The hooker, Danny Badiris, the current Australian hooker, also making his state debut. Very clever dummy half runner, and he'll be hoping to make an impact out of there, especially if the markers are a little bit lazy around that area. And holding on to Danny on the other side will be the number 10 prop, Marco Mealy, a young tyro from the Bulldogs who made a big impression in last year's series. He'll be hoping to make the same kind of impact tonight. Now on the bench, very strong. It's a 17-man game, the current game of rugby league, and number 14 is Braithen Astor from the Bulldogs. Tipped to be the game's next superstar, but he handles that pressure well. and he's got a happy knack of being in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. Number 15, Brian Fletcher, the very skillful Roosters forward. He'll patrol the right-hand side of the field, a master of second phase play, and he'll need to be watched very closely by both teams. Need support players on every occasion. Number 16, Nathan Hindmarsh from Parramatta, a blockbusting back rower who was stung after being dropped last year's series, and he's the kind of player who can go the length of the field. He'll probably scout on the left-hand side as well. And number 17, speaking of Parramatta, Michael Vella. Not much football this year, but he's a former winger who has made the transition to prop very comfortably. He's maintained his speed off the mark and is especially effective at bringing the ball off his own line. And of course, those 17 players coached by Phil Gould. He's coaching for the 16th occasion tonight, and young Tamana Tahu, Chief, you know him very well.
Yeah, there's plenty. Right now, at 10 o'clock, he got the call. He was doing his weights for the Newcastle Knights, and all of a sudden he's sitting here in the big arena ready to play.
He'll be ready to go. Now, also one man ready to go is a Blue supporter somewhere in the crowd. He'd be annoying someone somewhere. Will you please come in, jockey Alan Robinson? Where are you, Robbo?
Thanks, Peter. The atmosphere down here is absolutely electric. Unbelievable feeling down here on the ground. Who do you think will win, mate? Oh, the Blues, what's in? You think the Blues? Well, as you can see, the Blues are favourite down here, and they're favourite on the sports tab, betting at $1.85. Queensland's $1.95. The Blues 13 plus $3.75. New South Wales 1 to 12, $3.30. For the draw, $20.20. Queensland 1 to 12, $3.40. Queensland 13 plus $4.15. First prize scorer for the Queensland.
Good evening. A clear but cool night installed for the Hunter, with the winds to ease back for tomorrow afternoon. On the chart, there's a deep low heading for New Zealand. As the winds ease back, they'll tend more to the south. The chance of a late shower just for the central coast. Increasing cloud tomorrow, mainly fine after some early morning fog patches. Newcastle and Gosford a top of 19 degrees.
Every cigarette is doing you damage. This is part of an aorta, the main artery from the heart. Smoking makes artery walls sticky and collect dangerous fatty deposits. This much was found stuck to the aortal wall of a smoker, age 32. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
As Telstra Countrywide's local manager, I'm a part of a team of people that live in Maitland, Cessnock, Singleton, Muswellbrook, and in fact the entire Hunter Valley and Lakes District. Continually improving services is the result of working with and listening to the communities we're a part of, making sure we provide just what you want. I'm also proud that Telstra Countrywide supports the Young Farmer of the Year award in this district. Working together, it's amazing what we can achieve.
Lacking performance? Try Rev, high performance milk.
My baby don't care for show.
Why go to a ski resort for a week when for around the same price you can make your home permanently feel like one? The new Freedom Winter Collection, in store now.
He couldn't believe he got straight through to me. He thought he'd get a computer.
If you'd rather speak to a real person, call Amy on 13 22 44. Here it is, the 2002 Name Your Price sale. Yep, you tell us what you want to pay for any new or used vehicle. Hundreds to choose from, but you better be quick. This weekend only, and only at Charlestown Toyota and Newcastle Toyota. Ends 5 p.m. Sunday.
Hello? Look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I could send you a quit book if you'd like.
Make World No Tobacco Day, May 31st, your day to quit.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. Plan well what you do. Enjoy the best of what God has given you. And be strong, courageous, and above all else, loving. Let your actions always speak the truth, and let no child be hurt by what you say or do today. And spend time talking to God. There will never ever be another day quite like today.
The countdown has well and truly begun, and thanks for joining us for Game 1 in this year's State of Origin series. It's the 21st best-of-3 series. Of those 20 decided, Queensland hold the balance. They've won 10, New South Wales 9 with one draw, a chance for the Blues to even up the ledger this evening. To do so, they'll have to overcome a very strong 17-man squad. And Paul Vorton, let's have a look at Wayne Bennett's men.
Let's look at the champion team, the mighty Maroons, as they line up. The fullback tonight is Darren Lockyer, and this player, I reckon he'll go close to being man of the match. There's nothing he can't do out there.
Ambition that his team isn't going to make any mistakes early. They're going to play a good kick and chase game.
Well, they're not surprising, the changes, are they, Junior? Campion going into hooker, putting Doyle back, and Chris Walker going onto the bench as well. That's probably not unexpected.
No, it's not unexpected. They obviously want to come and try and blast the New South Welshmen off the paddock early on. But I think the fact that it's also got to be pointed out is that the Queenslanders have got to have some apprehension about playing at this particular ground, because in the 4 occasions that they've played here, they've lost 4 times. The last 2 times they've played here have been their 2 biggest losing margins. So hope we can keep that up.
I haven't sensed any apprehension, but that's just me. Now, we've had the little. Let's go to the large. Former State of Origin prop Daryl Broman is also in the audience tonight. Where are you, Daryl?
Well, thanks, Pete. I found a pocket of Queensland supporters here at Stadium Australia. Who's going to win? I think Queensland will win as well, but guess what? There's a chance for you people at home to win as well. The Nine Network and VB are giving you the chance to pick up a cool $2,000 in cash in our VB State of Origin Man of the Match SMS competition. Guess the Australian Test Selectors Man of the Match in tonight's game, and you're in the running to pick up $2,000. To enter, simply send the SMS text message NRL MAN to this number, 0429 675 767. That's 0429 675 767. Follow the prompts and make your selection from either side. The winner will be announced in tomorrow night's footy show, and keep watching the Origin series, because we're going to give you the chance to pick up 4,000 big ones for naming Man of the Series. Watch Origin 2 on June 4 for those details. SMS costs apply. Details from 9 MSN website or Channel 9 reception. Well, Pete, I'd be entering that if I could. Back to you. It's going to be a great game.
You did well, Daryl. It was a mouthful. Of course, I hope you are picking up the atmosphere that we are experiencing here at Stadium Australia, and now live pictures down into the Queensland dressing room. And Fatty, what's happening down there at the moment? Is Wayne Bennett? He's not normally very demonstrative, but he have much to say at this particular stage?
No, he'll have said his piece probably at the 6 o'clock meeting they would have had. He'd just be getting around the players individually now. All these players know their job, and when you're sitting there, and we've all done this, you're just concentrating on what you've got to do. You need a good start, no mistakes in the first 10 minutes, and once you get over those first 10-minute nerves, then it's just like a normal game.
I think we're going to see a big kicking game early on from both teams. In fact, I think if New South Wales are to take advantage of the big men opposing them, it is to turn them around. So both teams have very good kicking games.
Exceptional kicking games, and I think particularly Andrew Johns, he's got all the aspects covered as a great player, but one in particular is his kicking game. If he has 10 kicks tonight, 8 of those will be affected, and there's the New South Wales team there in junior. Look, those guys are waiting for the knock on the door. They'll be ready for this big game.
Not only is the kicking game important, but the kick chase, very, very important.
Well, this game is very important because of the 20 times that the State of Origin's best of 3 has been played. On 16 occasions, the team that has won the first game has gone on to win the series. That's how important tonight is, and both sides are ready to go to war. We're looking forward to this. We hope you are as well. Phil Gould, Wayne Bennett up against each other for the first time at Origin level. Plenty of new faces out there. Kenny Sutcliffe, back to you. State of Origin, game number 1.
Yes, Peter, after the break, it is game on. New South Wales versus Queensland in the Harvey Norman State of Origin series here on Wide World of Sports.
Thursday, it's closer than Bali, cheaper than Fiji, and more unspoiled than Tahiti. The forgotten South Pacific paradise. Getaway, Thursday.
Switch to HCF and talk to real people about hospital cover. Singles rates start from under $4.50 a week with a 30% government rebate. Call HCF now on 13 14 39 for cover you can count on.
Introducing the special edition Pulsar Plus. Australia's best-selling small sedan is now even better value. Because with a Pulsar Plus you get air conditioning, plus airbag, plus keyless entry, plus CD player, plus alloy wheels, plus a rear spoiler. We challenge you to find better value. The special edition Pulsar Plus. It's just full of pluses.
Look at us now, take a look at us. Wow, wow! Franklin's is changing.
Franklin's is now a better place to shop. And there's always great savings like 500-gram Golden Pasture spread, 78 cents, save $1.
Wow!
170-gram Paramount canned tuna chunks in Springwater, 69 cents, save $1.
Wow!
1.5 kilo Surf laundry concentrate varieties, $2.99, save $1.58.
Wow! Franklin's, look at us now.
Toolies end of financial year sale with off-the-pallet prices. Hand tools slash. Power tools from $39. Generators, compressors, welders, air tools, everything on sale. Saturday and Sunday only.
Toolies. Total Tools.
Maitland Road, Sandgate.
Why are so many bank customers swapping their home loans to the Greater?
We didn't think we'd qualify, but they gave us a free holiday.
You get a no-fee savings account with your home loan.
The service, the smiles,
We get treated like people. They're just more friendly.
Swap your home loan to the Greater and get a free holiday. No bank fees and low interest rates. Just fill out this form and let the Greater do the rest.
It makes you wonder why you need banks at all.
Call 13 13 86 now.
And join us at the Greater.
The Stock Exchange of Newcastle invites you to Investing in Innovation 2002. This one-day exhibition will feature presentations from some of Australia's premier business people, investment and financial institutions. Learn more about venture capital, specialist business advice, share brokerage, listing advice, market analysis and investment. Don't miss this unique opportunity to help your business grow. Investing in Innovation, Friday, May 24, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Newcastle City Hall.
He's sick again, isn't he?
Am I supposed to just go back home to watch him die?
Yes.
Thursday on NBN.
Welcome back to Stadium Australia, where this big crowd is counting down to the kickoff for State of Origin Game 1. To bring you all the action, it's a very good evening to the voice of rugby league, Ray Warren. Ray?
Thank you, Ken, and good evening to you. Good evening, everybody associated with the telecast, and good evening to everybody watching the telecast here in Australia and, of course, in some overseas countries. We're only just a matter of seconds away from the players taking to the arena, and when they run out there, they'll be greeted by a crowd of around about 50.
Right, it is Hodgson! Hodgson close to the line!
New South Wales looking awesome. Passing with his back turn, but they'll make the corner. They are over. Gidley, I think it is. It is Gidley. Stand and cheer Newcastle. The forgotten hero is back and back with a try.
Well, they've turned the early pressure into points, and good on you, Matt Gidley. You've been under pressure. It was set up by this early break. Nice combination. The fullback, Brett Hodgson. Well taken by Darren Lockyer. It was a try saver. Then on the next play, they took advantage of numbers on the right-hand side. They play the ball. Goes to the right. And as we freeze it there, you can see that 1-2 Queensland players have come in and have a look at the outside men, that space. And as play continues, the pass has just got to find the mark. Takiri, he recovers, tries to manhandle Gidley over the sideline, but he plants the football down.
Yeah, well, this try was set up by the play before, wasn't it? Phil Gould's done his homework. He knows that Queensland have the big forwards, but he also knows that his little men, the men like Hodgson and Johns and Badderas around the rucks, can get to them and can get through them. They did that with a nice little set play around the ruck there. Hodgson nearly scored himself, and when the defence converged on all those players, well, there was plenty of space out wide.
And the bench realising how important early points are. And a big rap for Trent Barrett. Threw a lovely pass to Luke Bailey in the lead up, and a quick ball there to the outside where he had support. John's trying to make 4 into 6.
22 out from the sideline, looks good. Johns has kicked it from the touchline. It is 6-0 New South Wales after 7 minutes. A fine day in Sydney, developing into a cold night. Andrews on the sideline.
Yeah, Ray, Fatty mentioned before Queensland kicking early in the count. They're also kicking into a slight breeze in this first half, and that try to Gidley, keeping up a run of early tries in Origin fixtures. You would think back to last year, in 2 of the 3 matches we had tries inside the first 2 minutes. Ray, I'm joined on the sideline tonight by the captain of New South Wales from last year and many, many times, in fact, Brad Bittler. What an encouraging start for the Blues.
What a fantastic start to the game. I thought coming in this game, the Blues really had to control the ball to have any sort of chance against these big Queensland side. And I think the start's just been fantastic. A la Newcastle Grand Final.
Away just outside the 20-metre line by Barrett. Simpson with an assist in the tackle. Now Tallis, then through Langer, it's gone to Berrigan. Sean didn't play Origin last year. In fact, he's on debut tonight, but he was injured for the major part of the season. Here's Webke. 15 out, right in front, and a little window of opportunity for Queensland. Carlaw working with Campion. Campion to Darren Smith. Smith goes for the line. He's held and forced down 2 metres away. Campion again. Now it's with Langer. Langer, then to Lockyer to Tallis, and Tallis is held 7 metres from the try line. Now it's come away and gone from Langer to McKenna to Takiri. They're in. Queensland are over. Takiri on that eastern extremity, although Bill Harrigan wants to look at it.
Well, there's a question as to whether he's gone into touch here, but again, it was a situation where the attack took advantage of a deficiency in defence. 4 on 3. Gordon Tallis had 3 or 4 players come in to tackle him, and that left New South Wales short on that far side. Wonderful ball there over the top from McKenna. John's up against Takiri, a much bigger man, but does he do enough? No, he doesn't. Oh, well, the foot's okay. What about the hand on the corner post? I think it looks like a try.
Yeah, well, great cover by Andrew Johns getting over there, wasn't it? Halfback shouldn't be getting there, but he did. Yeah, he banged that down.
Yep,
that should be a try. So good hit back by the Queensland side. Big man, Lottie Takiri, and Andrew Johns very strong, but Lottie's able to brush him aside and bang the ball down. That's fine and dandy.
Takiri this year asked to really step up to the plate with no Wendell Saylor. It should be green, and it is a try. So Queensland strike back at the 13th minute. It is 6-4 with the conversion to come.
And there you can see it is 4 against 3. The far winger realises he's got a real problem, so Rudy came up, tried to come up with the ball and all tackle. Johns did his very best to try and stop Lottie Takiri, but from that range, he is unstoppable.
And that just came, that try from sustained hit-ups. You know, Sivanasiva, Buttigieg, Webke, all doing the job. In particular, Shane Webke, outstanding performance so far in this match. Very strong. He's in there at dummy half. And that's a good ball, isn't it? From Chris McKenna, who's just come into the side.
Yeah, in fact, it was Tahu on that wing, of course, for New South Wales, coming in quickly. Lottie Takiri, one of the real personalities in the competition. A likable man, loves scoring tries. Enjoyed his rivalry with Wendell Saylor when they played in the same team. Now a little bit more pressure at club level on Lottie. He's got the team on board tonight.
And Peter, I'll go back a couple of minutes and bring up a point that I believe was a huge benefit to Queensland that's got him down this end of the field. The enormous pressure they put on Andrew Johns in his clearing kick the last time the Blues had the ball. They put 2 or 3 chasers on him. The Queensland team got the ball effectively. They stopped pressure being put on themselves.
Shivotsky. Ball tumbling off the mound. Came to Parramatta from the Queensland Crushers. Now with the Raiders. And is the Raiders' highest point scorer in a season. Doing that last year, breaking Gary Belcher's record with 245 points for the season. Clinton Shivotsky. Right on the T-box. 20 metres on its way, and it's out wide. So the score remains at 6-4, New South Wales leading.
Morris at Mega Market's huge rug sale. Don't miss out. Up to 80% off handmade Persian rugs. Hand tufted rugs, 2 for $299. Plus Timberlook laminate flooring from $20 a square metre. Morris at Mega Market. Huge rug sale this weekend.
Hire Craft Marine on the lake at Toronto, where boating specialists should be.
So just outside the 20-metre line, second tackle on the new set for Queensland, and this is Webke. Playing the ball inside the 30-metre line, and they choose to go to the right side where Sivanasiva has a full head of steam. Now, Carlo started the game at the back of the scrum, was listed as a bench player, and Campion has started at dummy half with Doyle reverting to the bench. Now Hodge.
The momentum in this game has just changed a little bit, not just because the Maroons scored. Some mistakes coming from New South Wales in their own territory. Don't need second.
Queensland forwards tight, and that's what you need. So it's very important that Joey really sort of takes that close to the line and keeps it fast.
Here's Jamie Lyon getting a good bounce, getting it to Jason Moody. Moody throws a speculator, picked up by the Blues, still picked up, they're over the line. Jamie Lyon has scored something that he started. Now Bill Harrigan wants to go back and have a look. This was amazing, how they kept it alive and kept it going. And Jamie Lyon, the youngest player on the park, claims a try.
Well, I'm not quite sure what the video referee will be looking at here. It was a kick deliberately through for Jamie Lyon, maybe offside. Let's have a look at how he is in relation to Johns.
He is, Pete. He'll check the offside. They were Bill Harrigan's instructions.
That's fine. No problem.
And Lyon's got plenty of speed, hasn't he? He was able to zip through this little hole. Look at him go. Queensland defence all stopped. Got a lovely bounce. Just held himself up beautifully. He looked for support on the outside. The support had actually gone back onto the inside. He threw a speculator and Moody was there. Now he's got to find support. Where is it? He flicked one up looking for a blue jumper coming from somewhere. It did in the form of Andrew Johns, and he was going to be pushed into touch by Lockyer and Takiri, but he flicked it back on the inside, and Lyon is there. Good on you, champ. Great try to the Blues.
Great support play there, and again from the vision of Andrew Johns. He goes line, we freeze it there. You see the Queensland side have all come up in a line. Look at the space. As play continues, it's just a matter of Lyon getting a good bounce. Timed his run to perfection. His Parramatta teammate Jason Moody back inside. That's difficult to make sure that that pass goes backwards as well from Jamie Lyon. He was able to achieve that. And eventually he backs up his second touch. Kicking game hasn't been great from either side in some respects, especially the short kicking game. Johns would have been bitterly disappointed there were no chases on his banana kick earlier.
Nathan Hindmarsh was that player with the arm in the air. He was unmarked, only just into the game, and they made it more difficult than it needed to be. But here comes the result. It is a try. It is a try for New South Wales. After 24 minutes, they lead 10-4. And again, different angle.
You can't beat speed in this game. We've got a bloke with a kicking game like Johns and speed of line. You've got to utilise them, and they did it. That pass went to ground, but Andrew Johns, who started it, he was there to pick it up, and that was a magnificent little ball he threw back on the inside there. Pressured by two Maroons defenders. The Blues like it. They go up. They've all worked hard.
Well, they may not have stopped that try, but you've got to praise the Queensland scramble defence. First it was Sean Berrigan coming across, then it was Lockyer. Just the ability of New South Wales to throw that ball back inside and the support player to be there. But the Maroons tried to get numbers there, just unable to stop it from going over. Another difficult conversion, but it is on the favourite side for the right footer.
21 metres up. He's a metre in from touch. On the western side to make it 12-4. Johns, he started it out. It's coming back quickly. It's there. So Andrew Johns really online. 12-4, the Blues lead.
Actually, I'm more into new wave French cinema. May we? Great, pick you up at 8.
And parts at Rice. Make the right choice all round at Cliff Wright Motors.
First tackle on the new set for New South Wales, and Nathan Hindmarsh. Half break. 32 metres out from his own line. Here is Bailey. And they take him vigorously, Doyle and G. Halfway line now. First match of the Harvey Norman State of Origin Series. And it's the Wizard Blues in front by 12 points to 4. Dearest to Johns, and Johns kicks. Jamie Lyon is after it. Darren Lockyer is on. They've let it bounce! Queensland have let the ball bounce, and the Blues go wide to the right of the ground. It is with Vella, and he kicks. They're getting ready to come into the game. Halfway line, and Vella running into the shoulder of Andrew G, and Gordon Tallis turns him base over apex. Danny Badiris timed for a run, and he finds Brett Hodgson. Here they go again. Andrew Johns goes in to score his first Origin try as captain.
He set plenty of them up, but this time he gets the honour of putting the football down, and Brett Hodgson up the middle of this ruck is creating havoc. Wonderful short ball from Danny Badiris. We freeze it there. You can see the Maroon defenders. I'm sorry about that. Get rid of that. And you can see the Maroon defenders coming in, and the short ball off his shoulder is the key one. Let's have a look at it. The gap there. Beautiful ball to Hodgson. And then Andrew Johns, lurking on the outside, takes the pass. Darren Lockyer had no chance. Again, vision. Vision from the dummy half to go one way and then isolate a player in Carl Webb.
Well, it's the way they had to go in this match, Pete. You know, everyone kept talking about the big Queensland forwards, but they're not as mobile as these little blokes. There's plenty of speed in Hodgson. He's been outstanding. Badiris, Hodgson, Johns, the three big playmakers in this team tonight. That's their third clean break of the night, all right up the middle.
I'll tell you, mate, I think Hodgson has been absolutely magnificent. He's a guy that has been in outstanding form for Parramatta for a couple of seasons.
Conversion successful, Wall, as we just show a replay of the bench as they celebrate. There's the conversion straight between the sticks. So he scored a try and converted the 3 tries. He's having a nice old night, isn't he? As his first time captaincy rolls on, Andrew Bloch.
Well, he said his aim was to dominate the series. He wasn't mincing words coming into the game. And Brad Bitley, you've got to say right at the moment, Andrew Johns is revelling as captain of New South Wales.
He is. He's a great player. He's been doing it for Newcastle for a long time now, and he's just having a fantastic start to this game.
So, 18 points to 4. 3 converted tries now for New South Wales. It's been a wonderful first half of football for them.
And this is a very crucial last 10 minutes of the opening first 40 for Queensland, because if the opposition are the next to score, this game is well out of hand, or getting that way. So really they've got to batten down the hatches. 14 points wouldn't be that acceptable at half-time, but they'd cop it the way the play has gone. But any more than that would make it very difficult. Is this a 40-20?
I don't know. I don't think so. Yep. No, the boys are doing high fives. He must have been inside the 40. Well, Johns continues a magnificent first half.
And for those people who are watching rugby league maybe for the first time, this is a huge play. It is a 40-20. If you kick the football from inside your 40 metres and find touch at the other end of the field inside your opponent's 20 metres, as we exactly see there, you retain possession. It's a huge play.
And there were 3 leading up to that too, Peter. 3 very quick plays from the New South Wales forwards. Very quick plays. The Maroons forwards just didn't have time to recuperate.
Johns then, wide for Barrett. Now it's with Jamie Lyon, and prevented from passing on to Gidley, who's at dummy half now. They are 10 metres out from the line. Brian Fletcher is with the ball. Fletcher must be followed, and with the tiring Queenslanders, he'll certainly get a ball away. Tackled by Andrew G, and Alan Langer played back for Medeiros, given to Vella, and Vella is wrapped up there by the number 16, Carl Webb. Here is Barrett, second man play, Tamana Tahu! Tahu goes for the corner. Touch judge doesn't like it.
You'll have a look at it, but it looked like he dropped it. It's a great play, in particular by Barrett. A few of the Queenslanders look fatigued, don't they? The pace of the game has really gotten a few of the bigger men.
A lot of Takiri's having nightmares out there because he doesn't know when he's to come in or stay out. No, he's lost that football. As Paul pointed out, Trent Barrett a little in and away, the second man ball. It's creating something pretty much out of nothing, and all of a sudden the outside Queensland defenders have to make a decision.
I would have thought he was into touch before he lost the football. Seem to see which way the video ref says to restart this. No try, scrum, that's right. He went into touch, and the start is a scrum, certainly not a 20-metre tap, as both teams started to line out in that formation. Kennedy thought it was a try. A little bit of bias coming out in Ben Kennedy there with Tamana, his Newcastle teammate, heading for the corner. 18-4, the Blues over the Maroons in State of Origin last year, with one of the better Origin tries. Refused to be tackled, remember it? Last year it was in game 1. Didn't they fare well Suncorp Stadium in great fashion? No smiles, not yet anyway, from Phil Gould. Bailey gives a short ball away for Johns. Johns gets it on for Lyon. They've got a 2-on-1 situation. Lyon's tackled with support coming on the inside by Jamie Lyon. Now it's away from Johns, and it's with Barrett. Barrett gets the ball away. Hudson, what a tackle. Darren Lockyer.
1-on-1.
That was a superb tackle. Now Fletcher. Fletcher tries to find the line. Fifth tackle gone for the Blues. About 6.5 minutes of the first half to go. Knock on by Ricketson. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to the Blues. Harrigan had been playing an advantage.
Now, big decision here. Do you put the opposition to the sword in your mind and maybe take an attempt at 6? It's not the case. Andrew Johns will take any points on offer to extend the lead to 16.
Yeah, I think they're doing the right thing here. Another 2 points would be lovely going into half-time. I think some big tackles. This one from Darren Smith is a beauty, the veteran. Pulled down Jamie Lyon. And then this one is even better from Darren Lockyer. It doesn't get any better than that, let me tell you. Hodgson reaching out to score, and Lockyer nabbed him.
And with all due respect to Darren Lockyer, early in his career, if there was one small weakness in his game, it was defence on the try line. It has improved markedly over the years, and there is further evidence of it.
Andrew Johns has converted all tries. He scored one of them himself, and now the first penalty of the night within kicking distance, and he raises them again. 20-4. 5 minutes to go to the break, Andrew.
And I tell you what, you want to make a comparison between this match and the first game last year. The impact Queensland got off their bench coming up to half-time, it just hasn't been there this year. You've got to say that Carl Webb has been quiet, Andrew G has been quiet, and John Doyle really hasn't had any sort of significant contribution to this Maroons effort so far tonight. Chris Walker remains the fresh player on the bench for Queensland.
Shivovsky about to take us into the final 5 minutes before the break. Hope you're enjoying that, the telecast exclusively and live on the 9 network, and being beamed to some of our overseas rugby league nations at the same time. Michael Vella will play the ball on the 30-metre line. Back and away from Badeiros for Johns, and Johns for Fletcher. Fletcher gets through one tackle, that of Kevin Campion. He's pulled down by John Doyle and Petro Sivanasiva. Badeiros and then Ricketson. Badeiros very patient tonight, Danny. He waited. Another penalty goes to the Blues. He waited and waited, Badeiros, before deciding to run. Now, Harrigan calling over the captain. We'll go down to the referee microphone for this.
There's been about 4 penalties, just little things. Marcus splitting too early, 2 are on out. Leg pull, no more, mate. Gotta get the game flow. They will always go both ways.
It's a very understanding Gordon Tallis. He seems to cop it sweet.
Gordon was just making the point that he expects that to be the case for both sides, and Bill assures him about that. Under 4 to go.
Vella. After it had gone through 3 sets of hands, Badeiros lofting a pass away for Johns. Johns to Gidley. Gidley thought that pass of his to Tahu, the rather famous one, would have been on then. Now Fletcher. Fletcher burrowing to the 10-metre line. Badeiros. And here he goes again. Johns is with him. Johns gets it away on the bounce for Ricketson. Ricketson comes to Doyle, and Doyle does the job. Now it's Hindmarsh. Hindmarsh running at Andrew G. 5 tackles gone, and they are so close to the line. Here's Johns. Oh! And a flick pass from Gidley, finding Tahu. The ball loose on the ground. Queensland coming up with it.
Yeah, flick passes everywhere there. Probably a wasted opportunity. Long ball from Andrew Johns. And Matthew Gidley knew that Tahu was out there somewhere. He gets it, he's well covered by Takiri, and then he flicks one up, looking for some support. Barrett's coming from behind. The Queensland mop it up.
20-4. 2.5 minutes of the half remaining. Last try of the match. Called into the game at about 1 o'clock today, and Gidley comes up with the first try. Vella.
Obviously come here with a purpose to prove the selectors were wrong in leaving him out of the original 17. And he's had a faultless game tonight. There's Trent Barrett. Drills one in low, in behind Shabovsky. Takes a good ball 12 out from his own line.
Just outside the 40-metre line. Queensland using every available minute. The Blues coming up with the ball. Bailey has got it. And eventually he's put to ground as Shane Webke exhibits a face that is one of gloom, and that's the way it is for Queensland at the moment. Very much in arrears. 20 points to 4. And a mistake at dummy half, but it's a penalty anyway. And he's indicated sin bin.
You lay on him, you
against
pushed
the
him.
captain, I fancy.
I warn you.
Is he talking to him as captain, or is he the...
Yes, he is going for 10.
Yeah, look, Bill Harrigan saying that he'd been warned for repeated infringements. The chat I heard him give wasn't necessarily concerning Gordon Tallis. He mentioned Alan Langer a couple of times splitting at marker. I must admit, I've got to say that in the first 40 minutes I haven't really seen Gordon Tallis offending on that many occasions. And I think that's a very, very tough call.
So Johns finding the line inside the 30-metre point. And we're down to Queensland end. He takes a shot, a drop goal. And the hand goes up. A further point to the New South Wales total. Marvellous first half for Andrew Johns. 21-4. Johns a try. He's kicked all the goals, and then this one, right on half-time, a drop goal. He wanted to dominate at the superior level. Well, I tell you what, he's put 40 minutes of it together so far. Queensland query Bill Harrigan. Security surrounding the referee. Andrew G having a conversation with Harrigan, who a matter of a minute ago put the Queensland captain in the sin bin. We will take a break, and then Peter and the panel will be back to analyse the first half of the action in Game 1 of the Harvey Norman State of Origin Series, supported by Philips.
This end of financial year, Toyota really means business. So we've cut the price for the Prado GXL petrol, diesel and turbo diesel models to save you over $3,400. Which means with constant four-wheel drive, power steering, dual fuel tanks, 8-seat capacity, free air and alloys as standard, everyone's off for the weekend. So jump into your local dealer before the end of this financial year while this great deal is being done. And get the feeling Toyota really means business.
Lacking performance? Try Rev, high performance milk.
Why are so many bank customers swapping their home loans to the Greater?
We didn't think we'd qualify, but they gave us a free holiday.
You get a no-fee savings account with your home loan.
The service, the smiles, we get treated like people. They're just more friendly.
Swap your home loan to the Greater and get a free holiday. No bank fees and low interest rates. Just fill out this form and let the Greater do the rest.
It makes you wonder why you need banks at all.
Call 13 13 86 now.
And join us at the Greater!
If you'd like to see how far our prices have fallen, hurry into the Grace Brothers pre-winter sale. It starts tomorrow.
Here are 4 good reasons to see Sharp's Tractor Centre for lawn care equipment. Variety, Sharps have a range of John Deere equipment to suit all needs. Service, Sharp service is legendary. Reliability, Sharp specialise in John Deere equipment. And price, get the advantage in lawn care equipment. The Sharps Tractor Centre Advantage, Racecourse Road, Rutherford. And get ahead of the game.
Toolies end of financial year sale with off-the-pallet prices. Hand tools flash. Power tools from $39. Generators, compressors, welders, air tools, everything on sale. Saturday and Sunday only.
Toolies, total tools.
Maitland Road, Sandgate.
There's so much room to you and Paris is blue. Yes, come and do what you wanna do with Paris of blue. Now let's go skiing.
Actually, I'm more into new wave French cinema. Mais oui. Great, pick you up at 8.
Introducing the special edition Pulsar Plus. Australia's best-selling small sedan is now even better value. Because with a Pulsar Plus you get air conditioning, plus airbag, plus keyless entry, plus CD player, plus alloy wheels, plus a rear spoiler. We challenge you to find better value. The special edition Pulsar Plus. It's just full of pluses.
Half-time at Stadium Australia with the score in State of Origin. Game 1 is 21 points to 4 in favour of New South Wales. Gus Gould there, surrounded by the Blues, telling them obviously that they've done the job in the first 40 minutes, but there's another 40 to go. Queensland, I guess they've got a lot of homework to do and got to put together a lot of things in the second half to come out a winner. And of course, they've got a great coach who will probably tell them to relax, just be patient, and maybe it'll all fall into place for you. Okay, let's just check out the stats on this first half, and it's been all news seen or expected.
I'll tell you what, the New South Wales team have stuck to their game plan. Their defence in that first 10-15 minutes was outstanding. Plenty of raids from Alfred Langer. Very, very honest. Steve Simpson was exceptionally honest in defence. But look, I've got to say, a couple of good players from New South Wales. Hodgson have an outstanding game for his first game. But Joey Johns, his enthusiasm is infectious. to come out and say you're going to dominate this game, I know it's only a half a game of rugby league, but he's an exceptional footballer. And Junior, New South Wales really dominant in that first 10-15 minutes.
They certainly were. I mean, the Queensland forwards, everyone expected them to come and railroad the New South Wales forwards, but the New South Wales forwards stood up. They stood up to the Queenslanders, and Joey Johns, Danny Badiris out of dummy half, and Brett Hodgson were outstanding. Plenty of wide ball, good wide balls from dummy half. The first receiver, Andrew Johns to Trent Barrett, forced the Queensland defence to spread, and when they spread, they then started turning it back inside and shifting it across the ruck, and they came up with some breaks.
Paddy, what did you think?
No, New South Wales outstanding.
Come on, mate, give us a smile. Cheer up, mate.
We can come back, you never know. We didn't dominate as expected. We never got a roll on. Our forwards have played okay, but the fact, as Wayne said, through Johns and Trent Barrett spreading the ball, Queensland virtually defending the whole width of the field, and then all of a sudden Hodgson through the middle and Badiris through the middle, and the tied forwards couldn't match it, and that's where they've been so dominant in the first half, the New South Wales boys.
Wally, that was always going to be the case, that the big men were going to play a role, but New South Wales seemed to have done a pretty good job on them. And I suppose their size is actually counting against them in some respects.
Yeah, they did, Sterling, and I think that really took place in around about the first 10 or 15 minutes. They really took control quite early in the match and dominated that. They gained very good field position. I think the way that they managed to get a good spot for Joey to be able to control it, I've got to be able to say I agree with the Chief in saying that the way he was infectious, the way his move was on the field, but some of the way that some of the players, their debutant players, were able to come through and show just how much the Blues jersey meant to them. I think you'll see that there will be a number of players get their second Blues jersey next time round.
Well, at half-time, one of the things you do look at is what the possession has been like, and New South Wales have had the advantage there. As we have a look at the flows chart now, the black columns are errors, the blue columns are potential sets of 6. And as you can see here, it's a great start for New South Wales. That pressure led to the early try. Then it wasn't a particularly good 10-minute period. 4 mistakes in 6 sets. Wouldn't have been happy, Phil Gould. It did allow Queensland back in. Then they got some control back, and then probably a couple of mistakes at the end, which didn't count against them. But a great start from here, and then they recovered from a pretty dusty effort after about 10 to 20 minutes. Now, for Queensland, it was 18 from 25 for New South Wales. Only 19 possessions for Queensland. They completed on 15 occasions, so their ball control has been very good. They just haven't had enough of it. You can see the gaps between the time they've got possession. Only a few errors, and only one of those, well, 2 of those, I suppose, early on in the count really hurt. But in the second half of that 20 minutes, have a look, only 6 or 7 times that they had the football, and you just can't mount pressure in that situation. Now, obviously, what you do with that kind of possession is very, very important, and what sections of the field you actually enjoy that. Now, for New South Wales, they've had more of it. They've had something like 58%. Now, you see the arrows down there, New South Wales running right to left. That's the area of the field where they've had the football. In their opponent's 20 metres, 12%. That's a good percentage. 16 and 20% in the middle of the field. Only 10% coming out of their own line. So they haven't been under that much pressure in their own danger zone. Now, for Queensland, just 42%. That's probably not enough at this level. Again, running right to left. In their opponent's 20 metres, they had 10%. Very little pressure before that, just 4% coming over halfway, and 28 out of 42% in their own half. So they haven't enjoyed much possession, and they haven't really enjoyed it in the best parts of the field. But as Andrew Voss pointed out, Paul, very, very important to get away to a good start in these games, and it has been the order of the day in recent years for an early try to be scored. And Matt Gidley, after 5 minutes, he got across.
Yeah, only a matter of a few hours ago, Matt Gidley was driving down the highway from Newcastle to take his place in this team. And a great bust there, inside ball to Hodgson. Great start for him. And then they had to find a hole somewhere. The Queensland defence had come in on Hodgson. It took 2 or 3 to bring him down after that break was made. And Gidley, this was a pretty easy try for him in the end. So well done to Matt Gidley back in the Origin jumper.
I think the great thing about Origin players, the ones who do dominate or star, is that they have got great vision. Johns has been wonderful tonight, Badiris, and also on Queensland's only try, it was vision that got Takiri across on the left-hand side of the field, Chief.
It certainly was. It was a great try again. New South Wales defence was really stretched here, and all credit to Queensland. Good pass there from dummy half, and Alfie always dangerous. As a forward, I've been there. Whenever he's got the ball in his hand, it's dangerous, but McKenna, that ball was just exceptional. The size and the strength of this man, too much for Johns, and goes over for a good try.
Wally, Brett Hodgson is getting plenty of raps tonight, and rightly so. He's been particularly well involved. This occasion, We see Jamie Lyon, his Parramatta teammate, starring with the football. He gets one touch there and he finishes off later by being the person after a few passes to get the ball over.
Yes, Durlo, combination's been the secret of New South Wales' success so far in the match. The timing, obviously, coming of Joey's kicks was to perfection. This, though, it really was something that had every person in the stadium out of their seats, including Paddy and I. I don't know whether we enjoyed it as much as the three men down your end of the panel here, but it just was one of those magic moments in State of Origin history. Plenty of New South Wales players backing up. They all got there, and I think one of the true great parts about it, but there was just as much Queensland defence got there. Unfortunately for Queensland, there was terrific support play from the Blues.
And on this occasion too, Wayne Pearce, you see Andrew Johns. If anyone deserved a try, it was the mercurial number 7.
Well, it was the three players involved that have really dominated the first half. Danny Badiris, Brett Hodgson and Andrew Johns all linked up to combine. The Queenslanders really fatigued after tackling so much in that first half.
And of course, a late field goal from Andrew Johns in the final 10 seconds made the scoreline 21 points to 4. Plenty for the Maroons to do. New South Wales know the job is only half done. We'll take a break and be back with all the second half action here at Stadium Australia.
The pressure is on to try and stay in touch with the top 4. Two competition favourites collide, the Eels and the Roosters. 8:30 Friday on NBN.
How does it happen? You're racing a fuse or printing the news, and you strain till you think that you'll burst. You sure got a thirst. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Victoria Bitter. It can come at any time. You're taking a vow, or chasing a cow. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
It's unbelievable. This car pulled out right in front of me.
Big, and you should have seen the look on his face. The car has gone
Up on two wheels.
There's a set of shops, and he's heading straight for it.
Straight through this window. And then this other car came along and bang right in the back of him.
Apparently, he got straight through to Amy. Lovely girl, sorting out the whole thing from start to finish.
Lucky. Oh, Amy.
You'd be popular too if you were offering tax-free cars and trucks, like courier, tax-free, transit, tax-free, and Econovan, tax-free, but only till June 30, and only from your Ford dealer.
Morissette Mega Market's huge rug sale. Don't miss out. Up to 80% off handmade Persian rugs. Hand tufted rugs, 2 for $299. Plus timber look laminate flooring from $20 a square metre. Morissette Mega Market. Huge rug sale this weekend.
Why stay with your bank when you can get a better deal at the Greater?
The Greater gave us a free holiday.
The interest rate was lower.
At the Greater, I don't pay fees on my savings account. I'm a maths teacher. Of course it's going to save us money.
Swap your home loan to the Greater and get a free holiday. No bank fees and low interest rates. Just fill out this form and let the Greater do the rest.
Try getting something like that out of a bank.
Call 13 13 86 now.
And join us at the Greater.
Toolies end of financial year sale with off-the-pallet prices. Hand tools flash. Power tools from $39. Generators, compressors, welders, air tools, everything on sale. Saturday and Sunday only.
Toolies. Total Tools.
Maitland Road, Sandgate.
The car's like new, and he didn't lose his no-claim bonus.
At Amy, if you've held a maximum no-claim bonus for the last 3 years, you keep it for life. So call Amy. June, live on NBN. Let the games begin. The one to win. Australia versus Pakistan. Mate against mate. And the big one. 4 unmatchable events, 1 unbeatable month. June, live on NBN.
New South Wales making a solemn promise. Let's get on with it and do the job in the second half. They lead 21 points to 4 over Queensland in Origin 1. And who knows, we may have a man of the match in amongst that mob, and we'd like to give away some money if that's the case. The Nine Network and VB are giving you the chance to pick up a cool $2,000 in cash in our VB State of Origin Man of the Match SMS competition. Guess the Australian Test Selectors Man of the Match in tonight's game, and you're in the running to pick up $2,000. To enter, simply send the SMS text message NRL MAN to this number 0429 675 767. Follow the prompts and make your selection from either side. The winner will be announced on tomorrow night's footy show. And keep watching the Origin series, because we're going to give you the chance to pick up 4,000 big ones for naming Man of the Series. Watch Origin 2 on June 4 for those details. SMS call costs apply. Details from the 9 MSM website or Channel 9 reception. OK, we're ready for the second half. New South Wales in front, 21 points to 4. What can Queensland do? Here is Ray Warren.
Thank you, Ken. As you can see, New South Wales and Queensland players just waiting for the instruction to return to the field of play. Phil Gould and the players coming together in a huddle, just reassuring each other that nobody will weaken, nobody will relent. And 21-4 down, Queensland make their way out. Will they recover? They have come from big margins down in the past, and they've got a wonderful coach. And they have, of course, great records in Origin football of coming from behind. This, however, is New South Wales' biggest half-time lead in Origin football. It's also significant that only 3 teams have come from 1-0 down in a series to go on and win the series. So you really want to win game 1 if you can. Let's have a look at some of the half-time statistics that we haven't gotten around to as yet.
And they should all line up New South Wales way, and they do so. The line breaks, all of them from about 50 metres out, through the speed of players like Hodgson. Many, many tackles there for Queensland. That's one of the reasons they looked good on their feet. They needed half-time to come, didn't they? Lots of missed tackles there, and time of possession just tells the story. That's why the score is 21-4 in favour of the Blues.
Gordon Tallis, of course, in the sin bin. I take it that is the accurate report. Repeated play the ball infringements, and I think the chat the referee had with Gordon a few minutes before he actually got put in the bin was to the effect that the next one who infringes is going to the bin, and that person happened to be the captain. He's very disappointed. He's handled it well, though. I mean, we've all seen Gordon blow up a couple of times when he feels that he's been wronged.
Well, I think the ironic thing is, Ray, is that I think he had every right to blow up there. And I think it's a very, very tough ball.
So the second stanza, second half of State of Origin 1. The Harvey Norman series is underway with the Wizard Blues leading by 21-4. Carl Webb to the 30-metre line, centre of the ground. Queensland defending the southern end. Second half, Bella coming over the top. Given it to a Blue. The Dearest plays it. Here is Tahu around Webke and over the halfway. Gidley this time. 32 metres out. He's hurting Darren Lockyer. Here's Hodgson. Sandwich by Tallis and McKenna. Now Barrett. And Barrett to the 30-metre line. Where's the youngster? Where is Anasta? Here's Johns. Going over that wing occupied by Clinton Shabovsky. They have given him one hell of an initiation, Clinton. Maroons now. Finding a New South Wales player. Chris Walker was after it.
That was Danny Medeiros again. Great Nasty, his first touch. Left foot step. Nearly offloads to a flying Jamie Lyon. Takes the tackle. Again, dummy half running this area of the field from the Blues.
Hindmarsh. O'Mealy. Webke up out of the line. A Nasta quick hand. Hodgson is up there and available. Johns is with the ball. Gets a long pass. Gedley's pass it forward. There's a catch and pass situation to send Tahu away. But it went forward. And Fletcher Bryan was just submitted then to a fitness test. The good news is he's back from the sheds. And this was the injury that Fletcher suffered. It was this tackle, I fancy, from Takiri and that right knee. Copping the major impact and problem. 21-4. Scoreless second half. 22 minutes to go in the game. And Takiri to the 40-metre line. 10 goes back into the game. John Buddigig. Webke. He was the leading metre getter in the first half at 73 metres, Shane Webke. Lost by Carlaw, picked up by Smith. Harrigan says play on. Tallis. Just inside the 30-metre line. 9 changes for Queensland, 6 for the Blues. Gould has got a bit of petrol up his sleeve. The two great coaches coming head-to-head for the first time in Origin. 5 series they've been there in charge. 23rd year of Origin football. Started in 1980. I was just going to say when Artie Beetson led the Maroons out. Tommy Radonicus, I think, was the captain of the Blues. Ted Glossop, the coach. And I think John McDonald was the coach of Queensland. People said, oh, it won't work. It's working. John.
Last tackle now is Andrew Johns again. Drills it towards Shabovsky's wing. It's been the case all night, and now the clock is really becoming the enemy of the Maroons. Just about to enter the final quarter of this game. One thing they've always been able to do is score quickly. Just making a little bit of a spark out there now. South Wales closing them down in defence. There is some tries in them if they can just get that opportunity.
Oh, gee, that's a good tackle by Tahu. He showed Takiri the sideline and then made a driving and legal tackle. 7 changes now for the Blues, 9 for Queensland as McKenna took a play down the left side, and then the captain Tallis. Darren Smith on 5, going to Alan Langer. Langer kicking, but Hodgson, it's almost as though he knows where to be. He has been perfectly placed, Brett Hodgson, and he's taken a thumping in defence. It doesn't seem to have worried him. He's quite spindly. Shane Webke rattled him up that time as Kennedy gets ready to come back.
One of the pluses in Brett Hodgson's game is not just his speed and elusiveness, it is anticipation. He just positions himself so well in defence. He's ready for the kicks, or if a break's going to be made, he's there all the time. A good little player, Brett Hodgson, having a blinder tonight.
Jamie Lyon. What's the story on Brian Fletcher, Andrew?
Yeah, well, Ray, he's just had his second fitness test, if you like. He looked a bit easier in his action that time, but the word from the Blues bench is they're only going to use him if absolutely...
Johnson's away! And there are Blues coming from all over the place. Hodgson was there. That is wonderful defence, though, by Darren Lockyer. 5th tackle. Now it's away to Barrett. Barrett goes out to Tahu. Tahu is in. Try number 4. 25-4. Johns again into the gap. Tahu celebrates with a try at Origin level.
And that's one of the things that New South Wales had to pay close attention to tonight, the last tackle option of their opponents. But this time it's the Blues that come up with the 5th tackle try. Now, it's not just Darren Lockyer who does well here. Give also plenty of credit to Sean Berrigan coming across, because he forced Andrew Johns to pass earlier than he wanted to, giving Lockyer that shot. Then on the next play, just weren't able to get numbers back. Go up, and we freeze it there. This is the man that he wants to hit. That's the widest man in Lottie Takiri. Look at the space there. Thanks for coming. Just needs the pass to be delivered.
Yeah, always under pressure there. And Lottie Takiri just a fraction too far on the inside. Gave Tahu just a free run down that touchline. The quality of the pass is just sensational. Right into the breadbasket. He's only running half pace. He's only got to run half pace to get there. Too much space.
I guess if there is one good thing about the way New South Wales have dominated in particular, that movement there, it's been Trent Barrett's form tonight. Struggled in the early part of the season so far with St George Illawarra's beginning to the season, but he's been magnificent tonight, returning to his best.
Alan Langer to the bench, and the kick is unsuccessful. 25-4. This was the kick on replay, and Andrew is coming off with a damaged right leg, right ankle. We've got to take a break. 25-4, New South Wales in front.
Ball finds touch about 15 metres out from the goal line. The strongest 20 metres in from touch. The heavy feed going into the defending side.
If you'd like to see how far our prices have fallen, hurry into the Grace Brothers pre-winter sale. It starts tomorrow.
25-4. The Blues over Queensland and 4 tries to 1. Johns has left the field, and for those people that were in a break, he got a rousing ovation.
Yeah, it was a standing ovation. And don't worry about comparisons.
Spinning out of a Webke tackle, and that's a good run by Gidley, taking it out almost at the 30-metre line. Bailey this time. The Dragons will be proud of him. 55,421 at Stadium Australia. Lockyer. He's played a leading role for Queensland. He's accepted a lot of the responsibility, a lot of the kicking duties, and tonight he's made 2 of the most memorable tackles I've seen in Origin football. Barrett with that kick, and then a little bit late, but Harrigan is not going to start worrying about that now.
Well, Joey's kicking game compared to Queensland's been outstanding. I think that's most really been the telling difference. I think Danny Badiris has been sensational around hooker, and our fullback's been unreal as well. I think everyone's really done their job.
Kennedy. There's Badiris. Running and running. Somebody stop him. Inside the 10-metre line. The Blues looking for another. And that is Braithen Astor. Played it back quickly. Kennedy thinks he's got a chance. Then he spins off them. It goes back through Danny Badiris. Drop goal by Barrett. Watching Bill Harrigan. He'll go up with the arm. He does. Another point. Another drop goal to New South Wales. We will take a break. It is 26-4. The home side in front. 10 minutes of the game to go.
Behind the kick.
Queensland with Clinton Javoski doing something that he probably thought I'll have nightmares of have to do this too often. Here's the Blues with Hodgson coming up. They pick the shallow restart, and they are just inside their 40-metre line. Ben Kennedy has come into this game with basically no football. This was just
in hit-ups in the Blues team in his first Origin, so a great performance by Bailey, being well backed up by Badiris. Kennedy in the second half. O'Mealy was strong in the first half. Ricketson was outstanding on the edge of the rucks, doing a lot of work.
And the performance tonight of Luke Bailey's testimony to his ability. Done well at club level. Here's a chance, away into open space. Brett Hodgson, has he got the speed? McKenna coming from the right. Will have too much for him.
Hodgson is going to cap a magnificent Origin debut. Daly goes up. The former greats, they are applauding. The current greats likewise. This young man has had a blinder. And had it been in any other game, he would have been MOM. He may still be.
Well, I think I was having a blinder as well, but I just couldn't keep going, Rabs. I got very, very tired just over halfway. I thought it was good that you took up the call because I was gone. Here's Brett Hodgson taking the football at the back of the scrum, and it opens up. Darren Smith actually slips, and he's got good speed. Chris McKenna, not a noted speedster. Never an opportunity to give Brett Hodgson 10-metre start and catch him up, and even a little shepherd there from Luke Ricketson helped.
That's his 5th line break of the night. And what can you say? One of the best State of Origin debuts we've ever seen.
Well, he was ready last year, Paul. He went very close, and Mark Hughes did a fantastic job. He's probably close to the Blues' best player consistently over those 3 games last year, but Hughes in the centres this year, looking for a specialist fullback. David Pucci unavailable. This man was next in line.
You might have noticed him, viewers, looking up to the right corner, and he was looking at the big screen, and then the players that I referred to, such as Laurie Daly and Andrew Johns, they applauded collectively this wonderful performance from the Parramatta fullback Brett Hodgson, who had a wicked year. Was it last year or the year before? Lost his mum, and his family and his coach at Parramatta and his club can be so proud of him. And he takes the kick himself. He converts. Andrew's sideline.
Ray, that try reminds me of Brett Dallas Game 2 1995. I'm sure it reminds Fatty of that as well. Just look at some of the work of Brett Hodgson tonight. His support play. I doubt there's been a line break tonight where Brett Hodgson hasn't been there in support. It has been just an immaculate debut from the Parramatta number 1. A game that he is going to take through, you know, whatever happens from here in his Origin career, and I'm sure he's going to play plenty of games in the blue jumper. He'll remember tonight as one of his very, very finest moments.
Well, after speaking to him a couple of times through the last season, he knows Mum's watching. There will be no one prouder watching.
It's a game like this when, if you're judging a man of the match, you wish to high heavens you had 2 awards to give. But he's come here tonight on debut, coinciding with the dawning of a new era of New South Wales captaincy. State of Origin 2. The showdown at ANZ, exclusively live on a fortnight's time, Wednesday, 5 June.
And Queensland have simply had no answers tonight. Too good, the Blues, you have to admit that. They've played some outstanding football under their new coach, Phil Gould. He's been there and done it. There he is on the sideline. Very proud man. But this is now, after the 56-16 defeat in the 3rd game of 2000, this is Queensland's 2nd worst defeat ever in State of Origin.
Played by Lockyer and Takeri running along the 10-metre line, and again you see an exhibition of New South Wales making ground without the football. It's a show of enthusiasm to the final siren, a show of strength and confidence, pride, if you like. And they would be so proud. This young side with 8 rookies aboard the ship, and then having to make a change as late as 1 o'clock today. 32-4. In their wildest dreams, they probably didn't think this way. Berrigan's kick goes straight for Hodgson. He's like a target or a magnet. Spindly. He's quite tall, really. As Shrek on his 21st birthday. Probably hasn't spent too many more turbulent birthdays, but I don't know that he will ever spend a birthday like this again.
give him the key to the town. They counted down the fans at Stadium Australia. Their team has won. The Wizard Blues for Phil Gould have won 32-4. Man of the match. All of that to come. The disappointment for Queensland. Disappointment that New South Wales knew only so well in 2001. But it's not over yet. It is not over by a long way. Those of us that have been around the game for a fair while will know that ANZ in a fortnight will be a coliseum of some proportions. Marvellous performance by the Blues. You just can't adulate them enough. Phil Gould would be so happy. Paul Harrigan is down there in that mall. Yes, Paul?
Thanks, Rabs. Well, Brett Hodgson, no one was more proud than you to get picked for New South Wales in the first place. You had an amazing game. Tell us what it was like.
Oh, mate, it's just a dream come true, honestly. Just got running off these guys, Joey and Baz and that, mate. It's just awesome.
What about your involvement early? There was a lot of it, and in particular in the middle of the ruck with Medeiros and Johns. It worked really well. Yeah, that's what we worked on during the week. Trying to get on the back of those guys early in the sets, and behind the ruck we thought that they might be a little bit weak there, so I did that. Thankfully a few passes come my way. And the 70-metre try, what was that like? Oh, mate, tiring. Now at half-time we saw Gus Gould talking to you guys. What was said? Just to not settle down, just keep playing the way we wanted to play in the first half, and not just throw it back and run one out. So we tried to fight around the field a little bit, and it worked well. Well, well done. You had a wonderful game. Now we're going to cross over to Wally Lewis.
Well, Shane, after the great success of last year's State of Origin series, I guess this isn't the best way to start off the 2002 series.
Certainly not. It's a decent taste of reality for us, though. Thank goodness it's a 3-game series, because at least we'll be able to learn from what we did tonight, which wasn't enough.
The Queensland pack obviously was regarded as being or having a huge pack advantage with the weight division. So I suppose in some strange way it was a little bit of a learning curve for the boys out there this evening.
Yeah, well, that can happen too. We were much needed as being, the better forward pack, the bigger forward pack, and all the rest of it. And obviously took a lot of focus and attention off theirs, and they played really well. And they give us a bit of a lesson out there tonight.
And what about Alf? He seemed to be a little bit of a target for the boys in defence out there as well.
Yeah, we probably didn't help him much, so we were pretty much on the back foot and the forwards all night. And Alfie just was, wasn't allowed to play as he wanted to.
All right, mate, all the best for Brisbane in game 2.
Thanks, Wally.
Dane Webster there with Wally Lewis. Let's go back to the Chief. He's with one of his Novocastrian mates.
What a great story this is now. At 10 o'clock today, you were doing weights for the Newcastle Knights. You got the phone call. Tell us what happened.
It's been a crazy day, Chief. I mean, we trained last night, trained really hard with the team, and then backed up this morning, played some racquetball, went to the gym, did weights, and then Joey Johns rang me about probably 10 o'clock and said there's a chance Sean Timmins might be out, and then he rang back 5 minutes later and said, get down here as quick as you can.
So you've walked into the biggest arena of rugby league and scored a try first up. That must have been nice.
Yeah, it was good, mate. After the first 10 minutes when I found out I had to come down, I was a bit really nervous, but apart from that, the boys made me really welcome, and mate, to score the first try, really good effort by the team.
Okay, and yourself, the combination with Tamana Tahu, that must have been nice to have that familiarity there from the club football.
It is. It makes it a lot easier to come into a team like this, a rep team, and you've got so many Newcastle players, and all the boys play well. It was really good.
So just finally, what was the most pleasing thing about the game for you guys? Was it your defence? Was it the possession?
I thought the defence was tremendous. The boys worked really hard. We spoke about it today, and it really came up trumps.
Well, thanks very much. Had a wonderful game and a short preparation. Over to you, Wally. Sorry, you want to say something? Right, over to you, Wally.
Well, Darren Smith, I guess the best part of this game is here at the moment. The game's over.
That's it, mate. It's the best part. It's taken a while, but we finally got the end of the game, and I guess all we can do now is look forward to the next game.
They really took it to the Queenslanders early in the match, didn't they? Almost ran you off your feet.
Yeah, they come out at 100 miles an hour, and unfortunately we were very slow out of the blocks.
Do you think too much of that had to do with Queensland's concentration on the heavy weight advantage?
I just think they played a great game plan. They all played it to perfection. They came out 100 miles an hour, and unfortunately we didn't match it with them.
Second half, though, seemed to turn things around a little bit. You had to, I guess, in one way, but it was a case that Wayne Bennett, did he have to any single thing to say at half-time?
I don't think there's really much to say, mate. We're just very disappointing.
All right, mate. All the best for game 2.
Thanks, guys.
Darren Smith with Wally Lewis. So what remains? We've got the wrap coming up from Peter Sterling and the boys, and of course we've got the man of the match. That was game 1 of the 2002 Harvey Norman State of Origin series, supported by Phillips, and we are going to that break now. And when we come back, our VB man of the match. That's after the break. Don't go away.
You can get it dipping. You can get it chipping. You can get it having a row. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter. You can get it lumping. You can get it thumping. You can get it any old how. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
Introducing the limited edition Patrol Cap Chassis Plus. You can get a powerful 4.2-litre turbo diesel engine, plus a 175-litre fuel tank, plus V4 coil suspension, plus air conditioning, plus free driving lights, plus a free bull bar. We challenge you to find better value. The limited edition Patrol Cap Chassis Plus. It's just full of pluses.
Every day, millions of people worldwide use Gillette razors, Nokia telephones and eat Kellogg's cornflakes. Why shouldn't Australian investors share in the earnings of companies like these?
Our international investment team selects quality companies with strong earnings growth. We help you share in the wealth created by global companies.
Colonial First State, the smart way to secure your future. In Mozambique, the Inaminga tribe believe that if a man is skillful enough to capture a lock of a lion's mane, then his own hair will grow back. The men stalk the lion with great stealth and exceptional precision. There are many myths about regrowing hair, but for a proven way to help stop or slow hereditary hair loss in 4 out of 5 men, get Rogaine.
The bush is unforgiving. Don't leave things to chances. Each year's a new beginning. Insure against disasters. It's hard to make a living. We can help with answers. It's tough to come up winning. To suit your circumstances. Whoever you are, whatever you do, we put the U in CGU.
If you'd like to see how far our prices have fallen, hurry into the Grace Brothers pre-winter sale. It starts tomorrow.
More than 100,000 young people or children will be reported to state welfare authorities because of abuse or neglect. As a result, some 20,000 kids will spend some time living away from their families. 2 years ago, 2,378 kids were harmed within 12 months of previously being abused. If you think this is acceptable, do nothing. But we care, and we're going to make a difference. Because every child deserves to smile.
Here it is, the 2002 Name Your Price sale. Yep, you tell us what you want to pay for any new or used vehicle. Hundreds to choose from, but you better be quick. This weekend only, and only at Charlestown Toyota and Newcastle Toyota. Ends 5 p.m. Sunday.
Back at Stadium Australia, the Blues have won Game 1 in State of Origin. They are subdued. They know there's a job to be done. There's 2 more games to be played. They know going to Brisbane will be tough. Queensland will reform. They will come out a better side. Wayne Bennett there with his captain, Gordon Tallis. A disappointing night for Gordon, but no doubt this great player will regroup and put together something special in 2 weeks' time. There's the full-time score, 32 points to 4, 5 tries to 1. Very, very dominant, the Blues. goals. Johns 4 from 4, Hodgson 1 from 2, and field goals to Barrett and Johns, 32-4. A terrific victory there for the Blues tonight in Game 1 of State of Origin. Now, when the best players in the game are on show, selecting the standout player can be a tough call. Tonight, our panel of Australian Test selectors have chosen Andrew Johns as our BB Man of the Match. He's with Andrew Boss.
Ken, on a Sunday night last October, we stood here with Andrew Johns, a proud man as Newcastle captain. I don't know whether he's any prouder that night as he is tonight, captain of New South Wales, first time and man of the match.
Yeah, it's a special night, you know. I was under a little bit of pressure this week, but, you know, I sort of stated what I want to do, but I think it was taken out of context a little bit, but just wanted to play well in the series. I got a lot of debutants there, a lot of young blokes, so it's a big job being captain and, you know, really enjoying it.
If they say that the first 15 or 20 minutes of a series can set up the whole tone for the series, New South Wales have really put their foot down tonight. The effort of the forwards just outstanding.
Yeah, I know it's an old cliche, and you know they say the forwards win the game, but you know all the way through, they all done their job. You know, Luke Bailey played 40, 50 minutes straight. I thought he was outstanding, but right across the board, everyone done their job well. I thought Brett Hodgson was outstanding at fullback. He copped a couple of great shots, but kept coming back. His support players outstanding, but everyone come tonight, done their own job the best they could, and come away with a great victory.
Andrew, can I ask you, when did you think we've got these guys?
You know, in the past history, you never think you got hit. Queensland, they always come back and you can stimulate. So, you know, maybe when the car screened up and come off, I thought we might have got them. But, yeah, we haven't got them really. There's 2 games to go. So it's not over yet. A lot of hard work to do. And we go up to Brisbane to try to beat them up there.
Great effort tonight from the team. Great performance by you and man of the match in Origin 1. First game as captain.
I'd like to thank Channel 9. Thank you.
Yes, well done. He played beautifully tonight, and so did several other players. Hodgson was outstanding also. You know, when he came off the field in the second half injured, Andrew Johns got a standing ovation. It was quite extraordinary. Listen to the crowd. He played so beautifully, and that was well deserved. 80 minutes of action and emotion. Where was the game won and lost? No doubt the experts have the answers if we rejoin Peter Sterling and the boys.
I don't know about that, Ken, but Andrew Johns, I think he was probably a little bit misinterpreted when he said he was going to dominate this series. He actually said that he didn't think he'd ever had the influence he should have had at this level and was ready to do that. And we saw from tonight's performance, he was exactly spot on. And Wayne Pearce, speaking of tonight's performance, you've been in a position where you've had a big win as a coach, and then it hasn't come up the second game. What's important for the Blues now?
The important thing is really to take the same strategy, same application and same enthusiasm up to Queensland, because tonight they were clinical, they were ruthless. In fact, the Queensland forwards just had no answers, and in the media all week we came to expect the Queensland forwards to blast our forwards off the paddock, but the opposite applied. The Queensland forwards were making no yardage. They were forcing Alan Langer and the halves to get the ball wide. Our outside backs were defending well, and as a result they were playing most of the game in their end of the field.
Well, Fatty, was that a situation where Queensland may not have been at their best, or was it a situation where New South Wales allowed them to play as well as they did, or a combination of both?
I think New South Wales played outstanding rugby league tonight. Not many mistakes and plenty of speed, and Brett Hodgson, Andrew Johns, it was their show tonight. But I felt that Queensland, I must say, I thought they had a lot of underperformers out there tonight, players not at their best. And, for example, I think Alan Langer must have a look at himself over the next couple of weeks. He's been a great champion at this level. But I think in the next few weeks he'll have a sit down and think about it. It wouldn't surprise me to see Alf say to Wayne Bennett, mate, go in the next 2 without me. He did his best tonight. Yes. I hope he's there as well. He did his best. But
he was behind a badly beaten pack.
Absolutely.
Too. It makes it tough.
Yeah.
Well, Ken, I'm sure that it's not just the players that can't wait for this countdown of the next 14 days through to State of Origin. The fans, they'll be waiting with anticipation to see if New South Wales can wrap up the series. Significantly, only 3 teams have come back after losing the first game 1-0, and on 2 of those occasions it has been Queensland. They are not dead and buried. A long way to go in this series.
Yes, Peter, we look forward to Game 2 in a fortnight's time. We'll be back to wrap up the opening night of State of Origin 2002 from Stadium Australia right after this.
The FIFA World Cup, coming June 1st to NBN. AWB, the corporatised name for the old Australian wheat board, is putting a brave face on a raft of challenges it's facing over the next year. AWB's first half profit jumped 47% to $77 million, and it says the wheat price outlook is steady, but it faces increased US farm subsidies, a stronger Aussie dollar, uncertain weather and new competitors. AWB shares fell 2 cents to $4.13. The market up 12.
Almost half of all healthy men over 40 have high cholesterol, and this is what they do about it. Which is ridiculous, when Pleuravit Cholesterol Health, a multivitamin with garlic and omega-3, is such an easy way to help lower your cholesterol.
Bob, have you cleaned those gutters out yet? Bob!
Pleuravit Cholesterol Health, because ignoring cholesterol won't make it go away.
Bob, you're hiding, I know it.
No, I can't swim!
There's some room here.
Oh!
It's okay.
Oh, no, your breath stinks, mate. Oh, woof! Thanks, mate. Hi.
Mate, you need some PK. There's only one thing in Duff Creek strong enough to drown out onion breath. Chew PK for longer lasting fresh breath.
Stop me, drowning! Stop me! Save me!
You've got two types of people. You've got those who go for cloth and those who go for leather. Now, the cloth seats are fine, don't get me wrong, but you should always go for leather because leather is easier to keep clean.
You'd be popular too if you were offering tax-free cars and trucks like Laser LXi, tax-free, Falcon, tax-free, and XL Utes, tax-free, but only till June 30 and only from your Ford dealer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah,
For a better Australian cheese, better buy Bega.
Only Nicorette offers a 16-hour patch, so you can beat cigarettes all day without nicotine disturbing your sleep at night. Beat cigarettes one at a time. You're twice as likely to succeed with Nicorette's 16-hour patch.
Here are 4 good reasons to see Sharp's Tractor Centre for lawn care equipment. Variety. Sharp's have a range of John Deere equipment to suit all needs. Service. Sharp service is legendary. Reliability. Sharp specialise in John Deere equipment. And price. Get the advantage in lawn care equipment. The Sharp's Tractor Centre Advantage, Racecourse Road, Rutherford. And get ahead of the game.
The pressure is on to try and stay in touch with the top 4. 2 competition favourites collide, the Eels and the Roosters. 8:30 Friday on NBN.
Back at Stadium Australia, the Blues cleaning up and getting themselves prepared, I guess, in the mind anyway, for that big game, Game 2 in a fortnight's time in Brisbane. And if they get that one, of course, the pressure's off in Game 3. Well, plenty of sport coming your way here on Wide World of Sports. The footy show tomorrow night. Matthew Johns is the guest host. Ryan Girdler's their house. And behind the scenes in the field of State of Origin with the Blues trainer Nathan Brown. I believe it's an outstanding segment. Check your guides. It's live tomorrow. Round 11, Parramatta Stadium, Sydney. Parramatta Eels versus the Sydney Roosters. That's 8:30. Check that one. That'll be a terrific game of football. Parramatta Stadium on Friday night. We continue round 11, Aussie Stadium, with the St George Illawarra Dragons up against the Brisbane Broncos at Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And, of course, live from Brisbane, the Entertainment Centre, Thursday the 30th of May, we've got the footy show. And tickets are $18, including GST, plus the booking fee. You can phone Ticketek Queensland on that number there and also the New South Wales number, Thursday the 30th of May. And then the Harvey Norman State of Origin Series, Game 2, ANZ Stadium, Brisbane, Queensland versus New South Wales. We've got that exclusively live here on Wide World of Sports from 7:30 p.m. on Wednesday, June 5. And don't forget the Super Challenge 2002, Colonial Stadium, Melbourne. This Australian cricket team up against the Pakistan cricket team, and that's going to be a terrific series, and that's the first of 3. That's live Wednesday the 12th of June from 2:15 p.m. Once again, check your local guides. Well, we've had lots of good football here tonight, lots of good sport coming up here on Wide World of Sports, but for the time being here at Stadium Australia, on behalf of the entire team, we wish you a very good evening.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.